Alright, so you want to make video games, but you also need to learn how to code. And what if I told you about a genre that could teach you how to code in the most efficient way possible, and within a month you can have a finished game ready to show your family and friends and possibly even sell on Steam? Well, my friend, that genre is incremental games. Hello, my name is Payne Robinson, I'm an English teacher, I'm a game dev, and I also teach a game development course. And in that game development course, I teach my students how to make video games by starting them out with incremental games. Now at this point you might be asking, okay, Mr. Payne Robinson teacher dude man, incremental games sound sick, but what even are they? Well, my friend, let me show you. As you can see behind me, I've got the most famous version of an incremental game, Cookie Clicker. If you've never played Cookie Clicker, it's probably because you're old or popular. Let me explain what Cookie Clicker is and how it works. Now, the objective of this game is pretty simple. You click on the cookie to make cookies, and then you use those cookies to buy upgrades that help you make more cookies. As you can see here, I'm clicking the cookie to get cookies. I'm using those cookies to buy these little clickers, the pointers that will click for me, and then those will make me more cookies, which I can use to buy grandmas that will make me cookies, and then I can use those grandmas to buy farms and a whole bunch of other stuff. That's essentially all an incremental game is. It keeps players on the hook because they want to see what upgrades come next, and they want to see how high they can make the numbers go. It's a straight up progression fantasy. For me, it kind of makes me feel like I actually have money, and so I'm addicted to playing them because I wish the numbers in my bank account would go up. I shouldn't have been a teacher. Now, I imagine if you're watching this video, you probably don't know much about programming. You might open a game engine and take a look at all of the options and numbers and sliders and get overwhelmed. You might think, there's no way I'll ever be able to do anything like this. Well, my friend, I was right there with you about 4 years ago. I thought I was an idiot and I could never make video games. And now I've made however many there are behind me right now. And none of them have made me that much money, but I'm having a blast. Now, because I am an educator, I do have to pull out an educational strategy here. This is one of my favorites. It's called the zone of proximal development. And this graph explains it all. Now, as you can see, on the vertical axis, we have challenge, and on the x-axis, we have skill. At the top, we have frustration, at the bottom, we have boredom, and in the middle, we have optimal flow. The goal when learning something that's overwhelming is to get you in a state of optimal flow so that most of the learning you're doing happens on your own. When you're learning things on your own and you're figuring things out by yourself, it reinforces your confidence and makes you have fun and get some sort of satisfaction of what you're doing, and it makes you want to continue to learn whatever you're learning. I think when learning a game engine, because it's so overwhelming, the best way to learn it is to get in that zone of optimal flow. What I've found is that when you're in this optimal state of flow, you don't really have to look that many things up. You have a goal in mind, and you can teach yourself things along the way. This feels satisfying because you feel like you can rely on yourself to keep learning things. Now, to get you into this optimal flow, you have to have a goal that you can actually achieve, and this is where incremental games come in. This is why making incremental games is one of the best ways to learn how to code, because it keeps you in that flow state, because all the things you have to keep track of are very simple. All you need to remember are signals, functions, and variables, and you can make an entire game. Once you get used to and learn these coding functions, you can use them to build bigger and bigger games. This is a concept called scope, or scale. And this is the second reason why you should build incremental games, because they scale with you. Say you start out and you build a really small incremental game kind of like this, where you've just got a number that goes up when you click a button. Say you've figured out that you can just copy and paste that same button to make an upgrade that makes a different number go up, that edits that first number. You've realized that this is really simple. You've realized that you can repeat this infinitely to make a game that kind of looks like Cookie Clicker. It's just buttons that make numbers go up. So you make a game that kind of looks like this, Incremental. It's got lots of buttons, got lots of numbers going up. And that's one of your first games. Good job. You nailed it. You made a fun game. But what if you want to take it further? Well, take a look at this. This is Tower Wizard. Now, Tower Wizard is just as complicated as Incremental. It's just buttons that make numbers go up. But the artist figured out how to represent all the numbers going up with sprites. Now, hopefully this example illustrates just how far these games can take you. You could start out just learning how to program by making a regular user interface that looks something like Incremental, and then as you start to work on your artist skills, you can figure out how to integrate sprites or different art into your game. And here's something that's in the middle. Take a look at Shark Game. It looks kind of like Incremental with the buttons, but you can see that the artist wasn't super comfortable making animations yet. So they made a bunch of sprites, and they put the sprites into the game. Incremental games will meet you where you're at, and they can be just as complex as you want them to be. Now, lastly, one of the hardest things to do as an indie dev is to get people to play your game. It's really hard to put out a demo and get people to actually play it. Getting folks to download something, install it on their computer, play it, and then talk about it to other people, it's a lot of steps. So, what I've found is that the easiest way to get people to play something is to make a browser build. And fortunately, because incremental games are so simple, they're really easy to put into the browser. Check out Tower Wizard. I mean, it looked pretty complicated, right? But there's a browser build for it. He put it on itch, he got lots of people to play it, he iterated on it, he got feedback, he made it a better game, and then was able to successfully launch it on Steam because he was able to get so many wish lists from putting it on itch. These 3 skills are the only things you need to make a successful game. If you're gonna make a game, make an incremental game, and then make another one, and then make another one, and another, and another. If you'd like to start trying to make your own incremental game, I just made a tutorial that's linked right next to me. And if you want to check out my newest game, the demo is live on itch. You can go check it out on Steam as well if you'd like to wishlist it. Shout out to HorseDev for inspiring this video. Go check out his video on incremental games if you like this one. Peace.